Here's a question that was sent to me this morning, and actually going to make a video and put it on there today. Desperately need a stair video for my Stair YouTube channel. Kind of running out of ideas, but we'll get on that later. Get some more videos going here with some more books. Don't forget to check out our books at the website homebuildingandrepairs.com. Click on the books tab, and we have all sorts of books there on stair building, and planning on putting more on there in the future. But this particular stairway that the individual sent me, it kind of looked like it was in bad shape. The stringers are cracked. And the first thing I'd like to point out about using Trex is it is kind of a weaker material. And even the manufacturer, and I really recommend checking out the installation procedure, and I think they have it in a PDF. Just type in whatever product you're going to use. If you're going to use Trex, type in Trex product installation instructions, and it should pull that up, and actually has a section on stairs using it and how to attach it to the stairs, and some of the information I'll actually put in the video. So it's kind of a weaker material. If you have a stairway that's has 3 stringers in it, if you're building something new, and actually got some information off the website and I agree with it, wouldn't be a bad idea to space your stringers about 12 inches on center for a Trex or an artificial product decking material. Some of these things are weak, and you know, the bulk of your the weight is always going to be on the front here, always going to be on the front, rarely going to be in the back. You know, you don't put your foot all the way back here and then step up to the next step. That's not real common. Most of the weight is going to be right in here, and if we can beef this up a little bit, then we could actually make a nice strong stairway using these materials. So new construction, wouldn't be a bad idea to use 4 stringers or 5, whatever you need. Try to space them less than 16 inches on center. I don't advise going over 16 inches on center unless you're going to use some type of riser supports, which I'll show you what I'm talking about there in a few minutes. So that's first off, new construction. If it's old construction, you're working with a existing stairway, you might not be able to add a new stringer to it. But the manufacturer, I think, calls out for blocks like this, and you know, I think this might work too, putting blocks at an angle here, or I mean putting them vertical instead of horizontal. But this is actually what the product manufacturer calls out for. And this right here, I think either one of these, and again, follow the manufacturer's instructions. I'm just kind of throwing this out there. I like this idea. It gives you a little more nailing. Don't forget that if you're nailing the stringers, maybe pre-drill holes, especially if your stringers are already damaged. Pre-drill some holes through here so that you can install the blocks. It's not uncommon to drive a nail into the edge of the stringer and just chip this corner off. And if that's the case, you could be opening up a new can of worms. So you might need to use some type of building hardware. A35s, you might need something that you can put in the corner, and to make it easier to install the blocks without cracking the ends of the corners, you might need to install larger blocks. You might need 2x12s. You might need to get down here to get some more nailing, or even some 4x6s, but I'll leave that up to you. And something like this right here, let me go back to this. If you're going to use the manufacturer's product, I know they sell like a 1x6 that's for fascia board and stuff like that. You're probably going to have to block the stringers because it's really not a structural component. It wouldn't be as structural as regular construction standard lumber. It's kind of a weaker product, so might not give you the strength. If you're going to install for example, Trex decking materials for your treads, and then use their 1x6 or 1x8 for your steps, you're probably going to have to block it. And again, the product installation information should provide you with more information on that. You might not need to block this if you're going to use regular construction standard lumber. Here's a stairway with 2x8s. We have a 7.5-inch riser supporting the treads. And you can see here where this is a solid piece of lumber. It's going to give you some supports to prevent the treads from moving. And that is a big problem with the artificial materials, or at least it has been with my experience. Here's a 1x. If you're going to use a 1x, that might be fine. And I would imagine it would be. If you used a 1x8, it's going to give you the supports you need for this, or at least provide you with additional support. And again, this is what I'm talking about. If you're going to use the fascia board or the 1x8, 1x6 from the manufacturer of the same product you're going to use, you're going to have to install blocks behind it most of the time because that stuff's pretty weak. One more thing, the nosing, always check to make sure that the manufacturer of the product allows you to put a nosing on the tread, on the step. It might not. You'll have to build something like this. But again, check, read the instructions, get all the information you can from them. They make the product, they work with it, they get to deal with all the problems. I don't. So they're going to be able to provide you with the best advice most of the time. So anyway, that's it for the video. I hope it helps.